Hey everyone, and welcome back to Schneid's 15. About 4 years ago, I made a video called Ski-Doo 1200 Buyer's Guide, What to Look For When Buying a Ski-Doo 1200. Earlier this year, about March, I got a phone call from my coworker that comes in and helps me sometimes, saying that he just bought a Ski-Doo 1200 and ran across my YouTube video and didn't realize that I posted stuff on YouTube. He said, I really wish I would have watched that before I bought my Ski-Doo 1200. I just bought one yesterday. So I went over and checked out his snowmobile in the spring. It sat until whatever, it's August now. It sat for a few months. And we got the parts ordered and we're tearing into it. I've never had to do one of these jobs. I've always tried to shy away from it. I always make sure that I buy something good and hope I don't smash it up. He bought something smashed, and we're just going to show you what all is involved in replacing these parts. Go over it. And for all my 1200 guys, chime in if you want to see stuff while this sled's taken apart. I can make videos. It'll probably be apart for another 4 or 5 days before we start putting it back together. Once the parts come in, we're going to be doing a video on the oil tank replacement for leaky oils. I did a video on the 1200 engines where their common coolant and oil leaks are. So we have the engine out. I'm going to go over all that stuff. And I've had people asking me about, where this goes or that goes, and you pretty well got to pull the whole snowmobile apart. And also, I couldn't show some people some stuff because their sleds were Rev XS's, which this is, and mine was a Rev XR, which they only made up till, I can't even remember what year they switched over, 2015, I think. But before that, they were the XRs. So anyways, let's take a look at this thing and show you what we're replacing and what's all involved. So he bought it. The one ski on this side was pushed back about 4 inches. And what happened is this right here is the what they call the S module. Some people call them a bulkhead. Some people call them, a bit of everything. The none, whatever. So this is supposed to be in here, I believe, or is it on this side? Sorry. Anyways, you can see there, right there, it's smashed. And here, all of this, the whole cast piece here, the A-arms are bent where the ball joints go in, they're twisted. So we're getting new ball joints, new A-arms, or the ball joints were fine, but new A-arms. There's multiple cracks in here along in different places. So this is called an S module. So this is basically the whole front end of your snowmobile. And that's what we got to replace. So to replace this is what your snowmobile will look like. It's a bit of a disaster in here, but we had to replace everything. The tin right here is bent a little bit, which we're just gonna manicure back into place, because once we put the S module in, it'll show us where straight is, and I can straighten that. It's just very light tin there. It's just your belly pan basically. But we had to pull this apart. Your cradle on the other side for your engine, it's basically your frame that runs from your tunnel up. And see how spongy this is. It was all smashed. There was actually JB weld on it. See right there, that's supposed to be about a triangle at the top. It was all smashed. It was JB welded. Anyway, so we just got all the rivets ground out, and we're gonna fix this properly, not like the guy did and JB welded stuff back together, because that does not work. So we're going to be replacing the cross member there, they call it. We'll be putting the engine back in. So anything anybody wants to see, chime in now. We're going to be replacing the whole front of the sled, this S module, and then basically at the front of your S module, this is where I'll put it like this. That's how it bolts onto your sled, and essentially this is all that's there. Just fits on like that, and that's see how that looks like a snowmobile there? That's all that's on the front of your snowmobile, guys. They are a lot more simple than you think. So anyways, I just want to make this video and show you what we're into. If there's anything any of my Ski-Doo 1200 viewers want to take a look at, chime in what you want to see while it's all apart. I've had guys ask about heater core replacements and where stuff goes on it. where hoses go, where this leak could be, you know, how to change a voltage regulator, whatever. The gas tank's out, the whole Pure Medical frame that goes to the back is out. Basically, everything's apart. We had to drill out these big rivets that go in. They have like a thread in them. I'll show you here. From the factory, you can see there's a thread on there. I don't know how they actually fasten, but we found that we grind one side and then give it a hit with a punch. It would go through or grind this side, and they had so much pressure in them, they would just pop apart. So some guys were saying that we might have to put bolts through these instead, which would be fine, just 6 bolts. But we did get the proper rivets. Skidoo said that they'd sell them to us, so we're gonna try and put those in. We don't know if we have to get the tool for it, but we'll probably just end up bolting that. There's nothing wrong with it. And apparently that's what guys have been doing for years. Basically, yeah, everything's, this is what it is. I'll show you the engine and what we're gonna do for a video on that, but yeah, I'll stop rambling here, but chime in with what videos you want. And this, I'm gonna make a video of us going the other way from this, putting the engine in and stuff, or try to at least. I'll see how it goes. I'm just helping him on the side here. Well, I just got this in the back corner of my shop. I said bring it in and check her out. So, and I'll help you through it, because I had the engine out of my XR a couple times. I kind of know what I'm talking about. So as far as the engine, we're gonna be doing an oil change. There was a zillion oil leaks on this thing, so I said we'll replace this oil tank. What happens with these, they get hot and get warped. They just had a bad design. They've updated it apparently. I don't know, the part number was still the same when I did mine. But anyways, for 120 bucks or 150, whatever, we're gonna put a new oil tank on. It goes and seals into those holes there for your oil to go through, since this is a dry sump engine. This is where your coolant goes. We're gonna try and flush that out. If you look close here, you see that gray? That was me scraping with my screwdriver. I think somebody probably put some coolant stop leak in there. So hopefully we don't have any issues with stuff like that. And you know, never know. I checked out the heat exchanger and it was fine. I did a valve lash video, so check out my other videos if you want to see a valve lash video. I showed how to do that process. These oil things are fairly common with leaking. This one isn't. So yeah, anyways, we're just gonna address all this stuff while the sled's apart. But like I said, I'll stop rambling on, and whatever you guys want to see, chime in. This video is basically for my Skidoo 1200 viewers that know me for the channel for that. Chime in. Let's see what we can do to make videos to help you guys. And this is what happens when you don't watch my buyer's guide and you buy a smashed up sled. It's too bad that he got the short end of the stick, and we're gonna hopefully make everything right, because somebody's definitely been in here before. I found rivets that are steel and aluminum and stuff that has spacers behind it. Anyways, we got all the proper rivets from Skidoo, and we're gonna try and make this thing as perfect as can be. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll wait to hear your comments.